Hey, what's up? In this video, we wanted to introduce you to our pup, Mila, who has learned to talk with buttons.
We're about to go to the park because she asked to go for a walk. The head tilt. We do have another dog named Shotzi, but she's a rescue and she gets a little bit overwhelmed at the park because there's so many other dogs. So we try to get her out to do other activities. I take her running a lot, or we'll take her to parks with a lot more open space.
Mila is 3, almost 4 years old. She was born on June 20th, 2017.
She is a Husky Collie Aussie mix, and she started learning the buttons in October.
October 31st, 2020.
When we first started teaching Mila the buttons, she was definitely scared of them. They're a loud sound. They don't sound exactly like us, so she was really hesitant. So we wanted to show her that she could trust them. We put them in our hand, we would pet them, and we would use them a lot so she would see that they're safe. We
would also pet her with them so she could associate them oh, these are good things. And honestly, it took her about 3 weeks before she was consistently comfortable pressing them on her own.
I think she didn't even press it on her own at all for the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, for the first 2 weeks, she wouldn't ever just press it without us having to ask her to press it. Yeah. People often ask, how did we train Mila to use the words? And I think that the first thing we want to say is that we didn't train her, we helped her learn. We taught her. It's like when you have a young child, you don't train the kid to talk, you help them learn to speak. So we've helped Mila learn, but it's not training. There's no reward system. She doesn't get treats for pressing the buttons. It's not training per se.
Right. We taught her what those words mean, and now she can use those words. So there's a few ways that you can start teaching your pets. The first thing to do is read and research. So Christina Hunger is the speech pathologist who started it, and she actually just came out with a book called Hunger for Words. So I would definitely recommend buying that and reading that. And then also theycantalk.org has a ton of resources and helpful tips and tricks.
Do your research definitely before trying to help learning your dog to speak. I think it's obviously a really cool thing and it excites a lot of people. Hey, I'm going to be able to communicate with my dog. But there are definitely some things you want to avoid. One thing that I can tell you off the top of my head is you don't want to start with a treat button, because then that's a big thing they say, because then of course then the dog is just okay, anytime I press these things I should get food. So there's a couple things like that.
Never force them to use the button because then it becomes a negative experience.
Yep. Mila's most used word is potty and eat. Those are definitely her top 2. Yeah. And her least used word right now is maybe home, or we just added a button for ball, so she's still getting used to that one, but probably home.
Yeah. She also uses walk a ton. And
walk.
I'll take you.
She'll use that in addition to potty. So sometimes she just wants to go outside. She doesn't necessarily have to go potty, or sometimes she does have to go potty, but she wants to see if she can get us to take her for a walk. So she tries to use that one a lot too. My favorite moment was when I asked if Mila had to go potty.
No. I love you too.
And I thought that was really sweet because love you is a way that a lot of dogs say please. And so it just shows the real gentleness that she has.
The affection.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cute. My favorite moment, I'll play the clip, but it was similar. Basically, Mila and I had a really great back and forth conversation. Now what? Mila, now what? Help? Need help? What do you need help with? Oh, okay. I'll feed you. And I just loved the fact it was wow, I'm actually having a conversation with my dog. I asked her a question, she asked me something, we went back and forth.
And she makes eye contact throughout all of it.
So
you really
cute.
know, you can see she's really paying attention. So we always get asked, how many buttons are you going to teach her? What's your end goal? How long are you going to do this for? We'll never take her buttons away. The buttons she has are the ones that she will have for the rest of her life. And we will continue adding buttons as long as there's a word missing from her vocabulary. So she never played with a ball. She wasn't interested. And a few weeks ago, it became her new favorite toy. So we added the word.
And now we are at the park, which is a super cool downtown dog park in Seattle. And you can see there are so many dogs here. Let's have some fun, Mila. Let us know if you have any questions about Mila. Of course, there is a link to get the buttons in the description of this video. Thanks so much for watching, and please consider subscribing.